And the miners carried spare calcium carbide with them, and they replaced it halfway through their shift. Do we have to be careful with this light, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, you're working with a mini blowtorch on your head, so especially mindful when dealing with dynamite, but a big improvement on the conditions. Oops. And the only reason, my friends, that we can use an open flame in this mine is because we are not dealing with any gases here. So you would never be able to use something like this in a coal mine where you are dealing with that deadly methane gas. Good job, lights coming on.
What about all that dust? You think it would be dangerous?
The dust is dangerous, of course, my friend.
No, but I mean it wouldn't go on fire.
No, it's not.
No, it's not going to catch on fire.
There's nothing actually flammable in this.
I have a question. So the engine that you used over there and this engine over here, like both of them were gasoline powered?
No, sir, they're running on compressed air.
Okay.
Pay attention. I've told you that at least 3 times. What's wrong with you folks? Okay, my friends, the first battery-powered headlights were not introduced here until 1937. And initially, they were introduced to people dealing with the explosives for obvious reasons. They are nothing like the thing I'm wearing on my head today. They weighed 16 pounds and were lead acid. So basically, these men were working with a car battery on their backs. And that is why a lot of miners were reluctant to give up the calcium carbide lamp, and they were actually used underground here even in the 50s. Today's miner is wearing something like I have on my head. This is fantastic. It weighs absolutely nothing. It stays charged for 20 hours, and it lights up the place brilliantly LED. The unfortunate thing is it costs about $6,000 a piece. So that is why in third world countries we're still seeing people working by candlelight.
$6,000?
$6,000 for this tiny little thing on my head, babe.
Whoa.
So my friends, I've got one last thing to introduce you to. You'll be very pleased to hear it silent. And John, this is another job for you. Over here. Just down here and hold on, buddy. Perfect. Come on round, everyone. That's it. Perfect, remember. Good job. Come on, young man. This, everybody, is the most important machine the miners ever had down here underground. No, it's not the hot food cart delivering gourmet lunches. No, it isn't filled with ice cold beer to refresh us because we're working so hard. This machine is not an ice cream machine either. So John, I want you to imagine that you're a miner down here underground. You are going to be down here for 8 long hours. You are dealing with tools, explosives, first aid, rocks, crushing. What do you think this most important machine might be used for? First aid, excellent idea. John, close your eyes tightly, do not peek. You can trust me, I'm not going to hurt you in any way. I'm just going to move your hand, buddy, but don't open your eyes. Perfect. Open your eyes, John.
Oh!
Oh! The toilet!
Oh, I was going to ask this right before we went.
So this, everybody, is our honey wagon. It's the deluxe 2-seat toilet on wheels. The very best thing about the honey wagon is, my friends, it came to us. Who did we give that job to? The new guy, John here. So if John had wanted to be a miner and work underground in this mine, I guarantee you this would have been his first job. For 1 whole month, buddy, you pushed this throughout the mine, and you were expected to get to every miner twice in 1 shift. Now the method to this madness, my friends, this young man would learn the layout of the tunnels in those pitch black conditions. He also gets to know all his comrades on a very personable basis because everybody was happy to see this arrive. So if John survived the first 30 days doing this, the company felt he was strong enough and educated enough to be given the opportunity to work here. Let's give John a big round of applause. Good job, buddy. Thank you. No, it doesn't work.
Is it?
Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Just turn around.
So my friends,
You gotta go.
you'll be very pleased to hear you've survived your 8-hour shift of work here underground. If you were a driller here in 1920, you would have earned $3 for your entire day's wage. If you were a mucker like John and I, $2.75 a day. The men laying the tracks after blasting, $1 a day. Now, of course, in 1920, that was actually a very good wage. But remember, my friends, this is a company town. The company owns and controls everything. The only place the miners and their families can buy anything is in the company store. So if you think about it, everything they paid the miners came straight back to them to line their own pockets. We're going to make our way outside, my friends, and we are going to head down to that enormous building that towers over everything here, and it's in there I'm going to show you how we get the copper out of the rock. Good job,
How
everybody.
much did John get pushing that thing?
0, right?
0.
A big
This is your
ostrich,
initiation
yeah.
into mining.
Yeah.
If you pass, you get the opportunity to work here.
How long?
1 month.
See,
Wow. So he's not making any money at all for 1 month?
If these young guys came from
Did they
the
feed them?
farms.
I'm sure they fed them and things like that, my friend, but it was not a paid position. This is your initiation,
It's initiation. It's the same
initiation
thing on
into
the
mining.
rigs a lot. Yeah.
60,000 people from 50 different countries lived and worked here over the mine's operation.
Yeah.
When I'm teaching the school groups here, the children say to me, "Why, Lara, why would anybody do this job?" But remember, in the 1920s and 30s, the world was in a serious depression.
Yeah.
So to come here and earn $2 and $3, have housing, schooling for your children, it was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Let's head outside, Chris. Good job. We're so spoiled today, people. Thank you. Oh, it doesn't go down as far as you can take a hat for me, thank you.
Oh, that looks good.
Let's head outside.
You there? Yep. Whoa. We went right to the other side of it.
We lived in Yellowknife in the 1980s. And,
Yes, sir.
yeah, but we knew one of the guys that was killed in that got blown up there.
There's lots.
Joe
Oh, Johnny, take a photo of this,
Terrible.
please.
Mining is not always an easy job to be doing, and there are lots of hazards to consider.
No, he had 3 months to go until he was going to retire, and
Yeah.
that's why. So there was a worry that he would lose his pension
Yeah.
if he didn't go and work.
Geez, terrible, eh? So, my friends, I've got one last noise for you. It happens to be the loudest noise around this entire place. Our miner's whistle. It was pulled first thing in the morning like an alarm clock to wake everybody up here at Britannia, but also 4 kilometres up the mountainside in that town site of Mount Shear. It's pulled to signal the start and the end of the 8 hours of work, and if it ever was pulled 3 times in a row, that's how we knew there'd been a very serious emergency underground. Even today, if I was to pull that 3 times, all the emergency services would be called at once. I'm pulling it now just once to let admissions know the 6 of you are alive and well and that I haven't killed anybody. Cover your ears. This is loud.
Whoa.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa, man, it was loud.
I would seriously like one of those installed in my house because I have a 21-year-old that never gets out of bed. And that's the end of the noises.
Can we see where they live? That town is not there anymore.
No. The mine, the town of Mount Shear was demolished several years just before the mine shut down. And today, with forest regrowth and Mother Nature, you would never know that that town had ever existed.
So how far up
It is 4 kilometers directly up the mountain that way.
So how did they get up there?
I'll show you.
It was in that video.
That's right. You'll have to go see it afterwards.
It's actually. Yeah, they went. They took them all the way.
You folks seen the video?
No, not
It's
yet.
really, really
And
good.
that is, of course,
It is,
it's
yeah.
what
Oh,
the
yeah.
miners
We'll see it when we
lived
go
here.
back
They
down.
lived up
Oh,
there
yeah.
so that they could access the house.
We weren't sure if we had enough time for
Of the
that.
journey tonight.
Well, part of it, there was trains also.
We're in a scully truck, like I guess she has to drive it back. Probably alternate.
Whoa, Raza Jewel Core.
Over here first, John. I know you're very excitable, but over here first. So, my friend, this was the start of the journey to get to the town side of Mount Shear. It's a 348-step staircase going up, of course. Then they had to ride this precarious, it was called the skip. So it was just like open to the elements. You hang on for dear life, and it winches you the rest of the way up. And finally, a mine train took you into the town site. So that is why the miners don't live here. It was not an easy commute.
Yes.
If you were a high school student living here in Britannia, you did that trip twice a day because Mount Shear was the only place to have a high school. But afterwards, go watch the movie and you'll see this transportation in action. It's quite something. Let's come this way and we'll look at the crawlers.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Have you ever gone to Headley? They
No.
have a coal mine there, and there's 600s there. We walked them.
Yeah?
Yes.
So where are you guys from? Where are you folks from?
Oh, just from Kerry.
Oh, okay.
So my friends, what you're looking at right now are the core sheds, or as I like to call it, the rock library of the mine. Diamond drills go to the top of the mountains, they core down into the earth, and they pull out these rock samples. When they come out, these are about 6 feet in length. These come back to the mine. The geologists and assayers study them, and by studying these, they direct the miners where to work to get at those precious minerals. You'll see that each one of the samples was numbered, and the number refers to location. So they would have known the exact location that every sample came from. This is just a tiny amount of what was originally here. There used to be 16 sheds here, this size. That's how massive this operation was. And still today, the #1 form of mineral exploration is diamond drilling.
Oh yeah, big time.
With 2 guys, his helper, a little stove in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I've done that.
Come on over, my friends. Best bit is coming up.